Hey guys, welcome back to Vegan on a Budget with Compare Foods. It's your girl, Chef Joya, and I'm super excited to be back on this channel. Where have we been? We've been cranking out the reels all over Instagram, but we are getting back to these long form videos. Today, I have some of the best recipes for you. We're getting ready to make a Filet-O-Fish, but of course it's gonna be vegan because why do we need fast food when we can make food at home? So let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, we're gonna start with making our vegan fish. Now for this recipe, I'm going to be using tofu. Now if you don't like to use tofu, you absolutely can use hearts of palm. Just make sure you rinse the brine off and shred it and then form it into a square. But I'm using some super firm tofu and I'm gonna give this a nice cut. I wanna make sure it's like that perfect square that you get at the double arches. I'm going to chop off these excess pieces, and you can save these for later, fry them up, make them into fish sticks, do whatever it is that you would like to do with them. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and slice it down. And I like these to be about 1 inch thick. I don't want it too thick because one thing when you're cooking tofu, the texture can throw everything off. So you don't want it too thick and you don't want it too thin. All right, now that I have my pieces sliced, I'm going to go ahead and score it just a little bit so it can have like a flaky texture. You want to make sure you don't go too deep. So I like to do some diagonals across. Then I spin it around and do more diagonals the other way so it creates diamonds in the tofu. And doing this actually allows the marinade in the tofu to seep through the tofu faster so you can actually not marinate it overnight. It takes about an hour for all the flavors to soak through. For the marinade, you want to add a little bit of vegetable stock where you can actually add water as well. Then you're going to add some vegan Worcestershire sauce or some steak seasoning, and you can even use soy sauce. And remember, this part is important because this is what's going to allow the tofu to absorb so much flavor. Like when y'all taste tofu and you're like, oh, it's bland, it doesn't have any flavor. That's because people are not marinated with like a soy sauce or anything that has a base to it to make it adhere to flavor. Next, I'm going to add in my seasoning. So I'm going to add in some salt. You want to use a good amount. Then I'm going to add in some black pepper. Next, I'm going to add in smoked paprika, not regular paprika. It is definitely a difference. Then you want to add in some garlic powder and some onion powder. Now, you know your girl don't measure, so this is approximate, but we'll make sure we have the details of the measurements in the description box below. Now, to get the fishy flavor, we're gonna actually add in some nori. Now, nori you'll see as seaweed paper that you'll get in the Asian aisle at Compare Foods, and all you have to do is take that sheet of seaweed paper and put it in a food processor and crush it up, and it's still gonna give the essence of fish. So we're gonna spread that into our bowl. Next, I'm gonna add in a little bit of hot sauce, and you can also use cayenne pepper, but I do prefer hot sauce because I'm using vegan Worcestershire sauce, and you know those two go together. They are like married in real life. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some lemon juice. And optional, you can also add in some dill weed as well. But I think I like to use the dill weed in my tartar sauce. I just want my fish tasting like fish and my tartar sauce tasting like tartar sauce. So I'm gonna add that in and give this a nice mix around before I add it in our tofu. All right, so we're gonna make sure that the tofu is all the way covered. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and sit this in the refrigerator for about an hour, and in the meantime, let's go ahead and work on our tartar sauce. All right, for our tartar sauce, it's super easy to make. We're gonna take some vegan mayo, and you can also make your mayo at home. They soak some cashews for about 20 minutes, and then put them in a blender with a little bit of lemon juice and salt, and then you have some vegan mayo. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my vegan mayo to this bowl. Next, I'm going to add in some dill relish. Not sweet relish, okay, y'all? We don't want sweet tartar sauce. We want the dill, all right? So we're gonna add in some dill relish, and I'm a dill girl, so I'm gonna add in about, what is this? This is about a tablespoon. A dill relish. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my capers. Now, you can choose to chop your capers. I love my capers whole, so I'm gonna add in this is about a tablespoon of capers plus the juice, so it's about a tablespoon of juice and a tablespoon of capers. Like, yeah, my tartar sauce is pretty sour, but it's absolutely delicious. Next, I'm gonna add in some black pepper, some salt, not too much because capers are salty already, okay? Then we're gonna add in some lemon juice. And for extra flavor, we're gonna add in just a touch of hot sauce. and a little bit of vegan Worcestershire sauce or steak seasoning. We're gonna let this sit in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes so all the flavors can marry. It's been an hour, so now our tofu is ready to go. Now we have to make our breading station. We have some breadcrumbs that I've already seasoned with salt and pepper, and we're gonna use panko breadcrumbs. Next, I have some all-purpose flour, and I have some smoked paprika, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. So I'm gonna give this a nice mix. And I know you're probably like, Chef Joya, you're seasoning everything. Yes, because everything needs flavor, okay? From the tofu, from the sauce, to the bread, to the flour, everything needs seasoning. So we're gonna give this a nice mix around. Next, we're gonna go ahead and work on our liquid. Now for this, I'm gonna go ahead and take some unsweetened plant milk, and you can use almond or coconut, just nothing with a really strong flavor. And you're gonna add in some cornstarch. This is gonna kinda act like an egg for us. So this is gonna be like our liquid egg mixture. So I'm gonna take a little bit of cornstarch to make this slurry. And I like to add in my cornstarch first and then incorporate my milk later. So we're gonna add that in, then we're gonna add in some of the milk. I'm gonna use the same fork, and we give this a nice mix around. And once I get this nice and mixed, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the rest of our milk. So we're gonna add the tofu to our seasoned flour, mustard side down. And if you ask, like, Chef Joya, why did you only do one side? I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to do one side, so we're doing one side, okay? Next, I'm gonna go ahead and use my other hand and dip it into my egg milk mixture. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add it to the breadcrumbs. So you wanna try to keep one hand dry, one hand wet as possible. Now it's totally up to you. If you want a double crunch, you can absolutely double dip this 2 times. And you can test it out with the little strips of tofu that we had. But I'm gonna go for the single one. I'm kind of confident in myself right now. We're gonna do this single breading, and we're just gonna pray for the best because it's gonna work. Next, after we get this nice and coated, we're gonna go ahead and add this to an empty plate, and we're gonna do all our tofu pieces. And while this is getting breaded, we're gonna start heating our oil up to about 350 degrees so we can give this a nice deep fry. We're gonna lay our tofu pieces in clockwise, and we're gonna deep fry this for about 2 minutes. All right, now that our cheese is on our fish, we're gonna go ahead and add our tartar sauce to our buns. Now, I am a tartar sauce girly. I love a lot of it. So I'm gonna add this to my buns. And if you want it thicker, you absolutely can use less caper juice for this, but I like mine at this consistency. I keep calling this a burger, but it's a Filet-O-Fish. Now let's get straight to the good part, and that is tasting this no meat Filet-O-Fish. I'm so excited. Like, to be honest, I've never made this before, okay? I just know what it looked like. I think I remember what it tastes like. And so I put all my skills together to bring y'all the best vegan Filet-O-Fish there is. And I'm already claiming it. I haven't even tasted it. So let's get into it. All right, dun, 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 dun. Gotta throw it here back. Oh, that is so good. Oh, I cannot make this up. Oh my gosh. Is this Mickey D's? Oh goodness, this is tofu D's. This is delicious. I cannot wait for you all to try this recipe out. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And make sure you're following Compare Foods, where you're gonna find the best vegan on a budget ideas. I'm Chef Joya, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.